Hey folks, Dave here. I hope everybody's doing well today. So I'm doing good, and we're going to do some more Christmas stuff. But what we're going to do today is based off of questions from a viewer that was working through making an ornament money clip, which I'd never seen until a couple of days ago. So what we're going to try to do is take a raw vector, convert it into a money clip, and then we'll do one from scratch. And hopefully it'll answer any questions that the viewer had. So Phil, here we go. So we're going to start with a Christmas tree, which is it's a free vector, and I believe it's a tree we've used before, but it's a good one. We need to clean it up a little bit. And then we're going to turn this into a money clip. So just open the vector, resize it from the corner so it stays proportionate, and then we need to clean it up a little bit. So we're going to right click. Now remember, you can scroll in and out with your mouse wheel. You can push down on the mouse wheel and move the entire canvas around. When you're selecting something, if you select from the right, you get a green line, and all you have to do is touch it. If you come from the left, you get a red line, and you can't do that. You have to surround the entire object to select it. So we're going to right click, we're going to ungroup, and then we're going to touch the tree, move it out of the way, and try to clean up these leftovers. So just right click and delete. Now we want to shape the tree a little better. Get rid of these pointy edges. So we're going to go over, select it. We're going to go over to offset. We're going to do an inward fill for 1 millimeter. And then you'll be able to pull the tree away. And you can see that those points are now gone, and we have a cleaner tree. Looks like we have one little spot left in there of the trash. Okay, so the top of this looks too fragile to use, so we're going to cut it off and redo it. So you can just grab a square and drag it around. Click your selector tool, then select your tree first, because you always want to select the item that you're subtracting from first. And then do a shift, select your box, and then go over here to the subtract tool, and we can get rid of that top. And now we can make us a better top. So grab a circle, push down the shift key, and draw out a circle. Hit your selector tool, and then set that down on top to where you have more to work with. And you can, once you set it up, it should snap into place, but if not, you can shift, then select the tree, and then hit vertical alignment. Okay, so now you want to select one, then select the other, then go over to weld, and weld it on top, and that's a lot better. Okay, so we're going to make a little clip that'll hold a rolled up bill. So to do that, we're going to grab a square. We're just going to draw it out, just draw out a rectangle. And we're going to make that, click your selector tool. We are going to make that rectangle a width of 18 millimeters and a height of 77. And that should fit a bill. Now, just for my own well-being, I'm going to check it by inches. You can click this and check inches, and that should work fine. Now I'm going back to millimeter. Okay, so this will set in here, but we need a centerpiece. So we're going to select that, duplicate, pull it out, and then we're just going to go over and make the width 6 millimeters. And that should work fine. Let's see the overall size of this tree. That's a little bit big, but to get the bill to fit in there and not cut the tree up so much that it falls apart, that should work. So this should have snapped to the center, but again, if not, shift, and then you can click vertical align. It moved it a little bit. And always select the item first that you want to move. So we wanted that to move. We selected it first, shift, and then selected the tree. So now you have two ways you can bond these together. You can just select and group, but we're doing a union with this piece. With this piece here, we're going to do a union. It has to go in there, and for whatever reason, sometimes doing the group first doesn't always work. So what you can do if the group doesn't work, so we're going to ungroup. So if the group doesn't work properly when you're doing a union, you can select the item first you want to subtract from. Then you can shift, you can select your square, and then you can go over to subtract and click subtract. And then you can go up and check your preview and see that your piece has been removed. Okay, and it's all grouped through that process. So now we want to bring this little piece over and do a union on it. And so you're going to roll up a bill and slide it over that. We're using 3mm basswood plywood. So this should allow for some flexibility to be able to roll that up and put it on there. But if you have any trouble with it, you just have to make it a little shorter. So now that we know we centered the first rectangle inside the tree, all we got to do is shift, select the outer edges, and then click vertical alignment, and it'll move it right to the center. Now we want to, I believe you can select either one first, shift, select the other, and then go over to union and click union. And now you have your piece here. So the second one of these that we're going to make it from scratch. So we're going to need this piece out. So now you can select everything, right click, ungroup, go back and just select this little deal right here, duplicate it, pull it out, and save it for the next project we're going to do. Okay, so, and now we'll group this back together. All right, so now we will need a little hole up here in the top. So grab your circle, shift, and just draw out a circle. And you can't really use the center tool because it's not centering on this circle. So you have to just kind of move it and hope it snaps into place. And if that was not centered enough for you, you wanted to be absolutely sure it was centered, you could always go over and grab a circle, draw it out to the same size, like so. Then you could select this circle, select the circle you just drew, and then do a center, a bullseye on. And then you'd have to get rid of that other circle. So, but you know, it's probably better just to put it up there. But if you really, really needed to be precise, at least that's a way to do it. That's close enough. We're going to put a Christmas hook in there. That's going to look good. All right, so now we want to be able to, yeah, it's bothering me too. All right, that's closer. All right, we're going to group all this together. And now we want to be able to write to and from on here. So we're just going to go over and grab a square. We're going to draw it out to a rectangle, something like so. We're going to click the selector tool, And then we're going to go down and click radius. And then we're going to round off these bottom two corners, because we don't want nobody cutting themselves with a Christmas ornament. So then we're just going to pull this up and go just inside. We could snap it to the bottom, but we're trying to get rid of this tree root too, and we'll get rid of it. And then you can drag it out a little more if you need to. Okay, so then we're going to select the tree. We're going to shift and select the piece we just made, and we're going to click weld. And we have these little pieces here that are bonded, so we're going to select, right click, ungroup, and then we're going to delete these two pieces out. And then we're going to group everything back. So now we're going to write on it. And like I've said before, the best font, in my opinion, for just being able to do a score and not have to engrave is to use Academy Engraved. So we want to write, we'll resize this, but we're just going to do all caps, and we'll do 2. And then hit the selector tool. I didn't mean to do that, so I'm hitting Control Z to straighten it back out. It's trying to go to the corner, make it a little smaller. Put it right here. And you can shift, select, and hit vertical align, and it'll move a little bit there. And of course you can make these whatever size you want. We're going to duplicate it, pull it down, double click inside, back it up, and do a from. And we can try to line these up a little bit. Hit selector tool, and then go up. Or you know what? We should probably do from and to. Maybe from should go first. And then we can kind of center the two and make it look a little better. And you can go back in here and add some more. Just move over and add some more underline to even it up a little bit. And I think we're good. And of course you could put some stars on here or some balls or something, but I think for the general concept of how to do that, I think we're good. So now we're going to do one. Try to make this a little bigger. Now we're just going to do one from scratch. There's our little money hook there. We're going to grab a square and just drag out a rectangle, and we're going to make it hit the selector tool. Make sure your lock up top is off. We'll make it 100 by 125. And then we could make it a little bigger since this other one's bigger. But yeah, that's good. Okay, and then you can select it and then go over and select radius and then round these corners off. Before I knew how to do this, folks, I was sanding the corners off because I just didn't know. But, you know, you don't know what you don't know. Okay, so now go over and grab a circle, shift, draw it out on the top, hit the selector tool, shift, select your box, hit vertical align and make sure it's centered. Now you can select one, shift, select the other, and then go over and hit weld. Now we will try to put this little hook hanger That other one's still bothering me, but I'm going to leave it alone. Draw one out. Hit your selector. Okay, we got that one in there pretty good. Now we are going to grab our piece. We're going to go to arrange. We're going to rotate it. And we're just going to put it down here on the bottom. And we can shift, select, and get that centered with the vertical line. And I think we will put a couple of bucks on here. And these vectors I'll put down in the description, along with a link for the material that we're using today, which is 3mm basswood plywood. So we're going to put these guys on there. We're going to make them a score, which is, you know, I told y'all we were through with this one over here, but we absolutely are not through with it because this lettering has to be a score. And that would have made a mess if I would have left it as a cut. But it happens. Unnecessarily chop up it all the time. Okay, so now we are going back to text, and we're just going to say all caps, couple of books. And we're going to, there's a little blue dot right here on the top. First, we're going to resize it, make it fit a little better. That's good. And then you can see this little blue dot. If you get on there, then you can grab that and bend it. And then we will duplicate this, pull it down. I think we'll move these guys up a little bit. And we will just say, for Christmas. Let's see. I believe we are there, folks. And there's all sorts of variations that you could make with this concept. So hopefully y'all will go out and get some of the free vectors and give this a try. Okay, so now we just need to get set up in the laser and cut these out, see what it looks like. I'm still thinking that from and to might be a little too big right there. It's bugging me, along with that dot up top. So I'm about to fix it. I can't help it. If it's not bugging you, you can speed up a little bit there. Okay, we got it. And we're going to, anytime you have two objects, you can select one, shift, select the other, and it will select them together. And then we can make that a little smaller. Put it right there. And now I feel better. Okay, so give me a couple minutes to get set up in the laser. We'll cut these out, see what they look like. I'll be right back, folks. Okay, folks, I believe we're ready. A couple of things. If you align your cuts with the grain of the wood, it'll make your money holder a little more durable. And before you cut, don't forget to move your score above the cut line in cuts and layers in Lightburn. And get those safety goggles on, and maybe even that Santa hat to put you in the spirit. And let's do this. Okay, folks, let me clean these up a little bit, and we'll get a closer look at them. Be right back. Here's our finished project. Turned out pretty good. We set out to make money clip ornaments, and we have succeeded. So you could paint these up on the Christmas tree. You could put lights or balls or a whole bunch of stuff. And with the techniques and functions we used in Lightburn, there's just endless variations of this that you can make. So if you go out and try it and you have any issues, just drop me a note down in the comments and I'll be glad to help out in any way I can. I really appreciate you folks watching. I enjoy doing these projects. Hopefully we'll get some more out before Christmas, so check back for new videos often. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.